Do you ever feel lost in a sea of faces, unsure if you're truly living or just going through the motions? You're not alone. Many of us yearn for a deeper connection with ourselves and the world around us. This longing often leads us to seek solace in solitude, hoping to find answers within our own company. But have you ever noticed how solitude can be both comforting and unsettling at the same time? There's a fear that lingers in the quiet moments, whispering doubts and insecurities. In this exploration, we'll delve into the profound depths of solitude, uncovering the transformative power it holds. If you're ready to embark on this introspective journey, let's begin. When you're ready, your soul will bring you here. Silence isn't empty, it's where your life speaks up. Solitude isn't a void, it's a doorway only you can open. When the world gets loud, the wisest part of you whispers, "Come home." Have you ever noticed how your best ideas arrive when you're alone? In the still room, in the parked car, in the shower. Not because you became smarter, but because everything else finally got quiet enough for you to hear yourself. We live in a world addicted to noise scrolls, replies, opinions, applause. Every ping pulls your attention outward until you forget what your own voice sounds like. Here's the truth, most people never learn. Solitude is not loneliness. Solitude is your return to self. Until you shut out the distractions, the expectations, the endless performing, you will never hear the whisper of your soul. And that whisper is the compass you've been missing. What follows is an invitation to step out of the crowd so you can step into your life. Leave the loudness, leave the chaos, because only when you leave it do you start to create what's actually yours. Most of us resist being alone, not because silence is scary, but because silence is honest. In stillness, unprocessed stories rise. Old wounds ask to be tended. False beliefs show their cracks. Solitude is not where ghosts haunt you. It's where they come to be healed. You cannot move beyond what you refuse to face. But when you stop medicating every moment with noise, something profound happens. You begin to hear you. Transformation doesn't begin with thunder, it begins with a whisper you finally honor. Then the universe turns up the volume. Your outer world starts mirroring your inner alignment. Doors that never budged before begin to loosen. Paths appear where there used to be walls, not because the world changed, but because you did. Now about the people around you. Not everyone can go where you're going. Not everyone will understand your path, and that's okay. Solitude becomes powerful the moment you realize it isn't isolation, it's elevation. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is outgrow the room, pull back from the noise, and stop explaining your evolution to people committed to misunderstanding it. Every real awakening requires a shedding. It can feel like loss, but it's alignment. You are not losing people, you are losing the version of you that needed them to feel whole. In deep solitude, your intuition sharpens. Your purpose unblurs, your standards rise, and your creative mind finally has space to stretch. Most importantly, you discover what you actually want, not the script the world handed you, but the truth that belongs to your bones. Look at the pattern across time. Sages, artists, visionaries, healers, again and again, they step away to return with clarity. They didn't vanish to escape life, they went quiet to hear life more accurately. Solitude is where the soul grows louder than the ego. It's where your higher self stops asking permission and starts leading. We get so conditioned to run from silence, to fill every quiet moment with noise or food or screens. We forget there's magic in the bare echoing room. We think we're avoiding an abyss when we're actually avoiding ourselves. The universe will keep removing the distractions until you finally sit down and listen. And in that bare echoing room, that's where the real beginning hides. You don't need to chase love. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't need more noise. You need you. When you reconnect with yourself, the right people, opportunities and paths show up, not because you hunted them down, but because you became a match for them. There's a quiet magnetism in those at peace with their own company. They don't beg for attention, and yet it arrives. They don't grasp at love, and yet it settles. They don't follow trends. They create them. Why? Because solitude teaches what the world never will. Everything you need to begin is already within. If you're in a season of isolation, misunderstood, outside the old circles, unsure of what's next, let this be your reminder. You are not broken, you are not lost. You are being forged, guided, carved into a version of yourself that can finally hold the life you asked for without dropping yourself in the process. How do you start? Make solitude simple and non-dramatic. 10 minutes with your phone in another room. A walk without headphones, a closed door, a blank page, one honest sentence. This is who I really am. In that space, tell the truth you've been editing for approval. In that space, name the desire you keep postponing. In that space, choose one small action that honors it. Expect discomfort. Expect the urge to reach for noise. Expect the mind to bargain, stay anyway. Breathe slower than your thoughts. When the ache rises, don't fix it. Witness it. Let it teach you what boundary is needed, what grief wants to be felt, what dream is asking for daylight. This is how loneliness turns into solitude, and solitude turns into alignment. As you practice, watch what shifts. Your intuition becomes precise. It speaks in clear yes and no. Your purpose feels less like a riddle and more like a direction. Your standards stop being negotiable. Your creativity wakes up hungry and brave. Your choices start to honor energy over image, peace over applause. And then something beautiful happens. What you used to chase arrives at your pace. The friend who feels like home. The opportunity that fits like a key. The love that doesn't ask you to be smaller. They recognize you because you finally recognize yourself. If you stumble, begin again. If you feel empty, remember, a field looks barren right after it's tilled. A house looks chaotic, mid-renovation, dust floating, wires exposed. A tide pulls back before it roars forward. It looks worse before it looks right, but the blueprint exists. You're not late, you're in the middle. So shut the door, light a candle, place both feet on the floor, inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Ask your life one question. What is the next true step? Not the next 10, just the next one. Then take it. Tomorrow, take another. This is the quiet, relentless math of becoming. You don't have to abandon the world. You just have to stop abandoning yourself in it. Stay long enough in your own presence and you'll feel it. Alignment clicking into place. The room won't be louder, but it will be clearer. Your yes will feel clean. Your no will feel kind and firm. Your path will not get easier, but your footing will get stronger. And then you will watch, with a calm that surprises you, how everything begins to fall into place. Not because you chased the life, but because you became the person who could carry it. Moral solitude is not punishment, it's preparation. Step out of the noise, listen for your own voice, and let that truth choose your next small, faithful step. If this message met you at the right moment, I'd be honored to keep you company on the journey. Consider subscribing for more. Voiceover friendly stories, only if it truly serves you.